It's really a fun Buddhist story about choosing the right goals. An old monk and the Buddha were walking down the bank of a river. The old monk turns to the Buddha and says, "Watch this. My decades and decades of meditation practice have given me the powers of levitation. I can float on air. It took my whole life to figure this out, but I've achieved my goal. Look." The old monk then sat down cross-legged and began chanting and breathing. Eventually, he rose up into the air and floated across the river to the other side. He shouted at the Buddha from the opposite bank of the river, "See? Isn't that amazing? I did it." And the Buddha's response was, "That's nice. But why did you spend your whole life learning to float? You could have taken the boat across the river in less than 5 minutes." So with all the above said, I truly believe that once you put the human mind to the obsessive task of achieving a goal, it can be achieved. It takes work, effort, persistence, and everything else that motivational speakers and writers have been telling us for generations. The first task that needs to be addressed is to decide on a worthy goal worth going after. James Allen once said, "The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight. But they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward in the night." Goals. Wikipedia articles do a great job of defining, explaining, and categorizing various types of goals. To sum them up in a meaningful compilation, a goal is a desired result that an animal or a system envisions, plans, and commits to achieve. A personal or organizational desired endpoint in some sort of assumed development. Many people endeavor to reach goals with a finite time by setting deadlines. It is roughly similar to purpose or aim, the anticipated result which guides reaction, or an end, which is an object, either a physical objector or abstract object that has intrinsic value. Goal setting ideally involves establishing specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-targeted objectives. Work on the goal-setting theory suggests that it can serve as an effective tool for making progress by ensuring that participants have a clear awareness of what they must do to achieve or help achieve an objective. Goal-setting theory was developed by Edwin A. Locke in the 1960s. His first article on goal-setting theory was Toward a Theory of Task Motivation and Incentives, which was published in 1968. On a personal level, the process of setting goals allows people to specify and then work towards their own objectives, most commonly financial or career-based goals. Goal setting comprises a major component of personal development. A goal can be long-term or short-term. Short-term goals expect accomplishment in a short period of time, such as trying to get a bill paid in the next few days. The definition of a short-term goal need not relate to any specific length of time. In other words, one may achieve or fail to achieve a short-term goal in a day, week, month, year, etc. The time frame for a short-term goal relates to its context in the overall timeline that it is being applied to. For instance, one could measure a goal for a month-long project in days, whereas one might measure a short-term goal for someone's lifetime in months or in years. Planners usually define short-term goals in relation to a long-term goal or goals. Individuals can set personal goals. A student may set a goal of a high mark in an exam. An athlete might run 5 miles a day. A traveler might try to reach a destination city within 3 hours. Financial goals are a common example, to save for retirement or to save for a purchase. Managing goals can give returns in all areas of personal life. Knowing precisely what one wants to achieve makes clear what to concentrate and improve on, and often subconsciously prioritizes that goal. Goal setting and planning, or goal work, promotes long-term vision and short-term motivation. It focuses intention, desire, acquisition of knowledge, and helps to organize resources. Efficient goal work includes recognizing and resolving all guilt, inner conflict, or limiting belief that might cause one to sabotage one's effort. By setting clearly defined goals, one can subsequently measure and take pride in the achievement of those goals. One can see progress in what might have seemed a long, perhaps impossible grind. Achieving complex and difficult goals requires focus, long-term diligence, and effort. Success in any field requires foregoing excuses and justifications for poor performance or lack of adequate planning. In short, success requires emotional maturity. The measure of belief that people have in their ability to achieve a personal goal also affects that achievement. Long-term achievements rely on short-term achievements. Emotional control over the small moments of the single day makes a big difference in the long term. There has been a lot of research conducted looking at the link between achieving desired goals, changes to self-efficacy and integrity, and ultimately changes to subjective well-being. Goal efficacy refers to how likely an individual is to succeed in achieving their goal. Goal integrity refers to how consistent one's goals are with core aspects of the self. Research has shown that a focus on goal efficacy is associated with the well-being factor, happiness, or subjective well-being, and goal integrity is associated with the well-being factor. Multiple studies have shown the link between achieving long-term goals and changes in subjective well-being, with most research showing that achieving goals that hold personal meaning to an individual increases feelings of subjective well-being.